There you go. So you get combos like that.
Guilty Gear Strive. Teach me.
Yo, what's going on, everyone? It's your boy King J, and welcome to another Guilty Gear Strive Teach Me episode. We now have the legendary Kizzie Kay. What's going on?
What's going on, bro?
Welcome, man. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much for inviting me, dude.
We appreciate it, man. We appreciate you, man, and your content and everything you're doing, man. So thank you for coming on board.
Yeah, man. We out here just grinding every day, man. And I shout outs to all the new Strive players that got into Guilty Gear and, doing big things, or, just starting to do some fundamental knowledge about fighting games and just learning about it and, enjoying it, or just appreciating just fighting games in general. Shout outs to all those guys,
All right, wicked, man. We definitely have you to thank for especially like the content and stuff, but we're going to get into the introduction. So tell us a bit about yourself.
So, I used to be playing fighting games since I was a kid, man. I used to play fighting games like almost all the time as a kid, and just growing up, it naturally became, a part of like a skill that I just naturally can understand just by playing it, I guess, since being a kid. So, when I found out about like tournament teams and stuff like that, I was like, yo, I want to see how good I could actually get into this, right? Because, back in the day, I used to be good at the arcades, and I used to be able to get my name on a #1 leaderboards in the arcade modes and stuff. So I was like, yo, maybe I could play against actual people and let's see how far I can go,
All right, wicked, man. So let's talk about the archetype. So explain Kiske. I'll say it again. Explain Kiske archetype.
So he's like a balance type. He's well-rounded. They call him the almighty well-rounder. So basically, he has a lot of well-rounded tools. He has great moves like stun edge, like a good fireball, and he has a dragon punch. He has a dragon punch. He has 2 dragon punch and stuff like that. So he's well-rounded, and he has a lot of moves that he can close the gap with, right? So that's also another thing that makes him well-rounded. So he has a lot of mid-range, long-range, and close range. But because he has a lot of well-rounded tools, all his tools are very, very hard to use because the logic is because he has well-rounded tools, he doesn't excel at anything, right? So that's kind of like the archetype that they try to make for him.
All right, wicked. So now we're talking about moves. Let's go on to the key moves. What are his key moves?
I think one of his key moves, honestly, especially coming to this patch, is bar slash, 6 punch, 5K, 2K sweep. You know what I'm saying? I think 5H is also good, and 6H is also really good too. And I want to say those are his really, really good key tools. If you want to learn Kai or you want to play Kai, you really want to have the 6 punch down. You really want to have his 5K. You want to have his bar slash. You want to have his 2 slash, 6 slash, 6 heavy slash, and 5 heavy slash. And I want to say those are the really, really good buttons that you really, really want to start using going with Kai. And when you get close, you could definitely use one of his moves that a lot of people been trying to figure out, ways of using it. But it has its uses and it's really good too. And then the 6K. 6K is plus on block. And even if you get the hit, right here, you get a combo, right? So you get a hit, get a cool combo, or if you block, they're actually plus on block now. So that's another thing that you could do too. So you want to get those frame advantage, you want to keep that pressure going. He has tools for that.
Okay, cool. And then what about the special moves?
So his special moves now, it's you have stun edge, right? Stun edge, I wouldn't say is a very, very strong fireball in this game, but even though it's not the strongest, it still has its usage, which applies to shock state, right? And shock state is very, very unique on Kai. Shock state basically allows certain combos to have better frame advantage on hit when you go for a combo, or if you want to do a pressure tool, it's actually makes it where it's either harder to punish or it makes certain moves plus on block, right? So we could give for example, so this right here, usually when you hit this, This is safe on block, but it's not plus on block, right? But when you add this into it, this is plus on block, and you get a combo too. So it adds more hits done even on hit. So if you hit somebody with shock state, you get a combo like that. Rather, if you hit them regularly, you don't get a combo. So those are like a very important thing about shock state. Now let's talk about his other special moves. So he has Food Arc, which is basically like his flying homing kick. It's not an overhead, but it's a mid attack. But the fact that it's safe on block is also very scary too, because the reward, if it hits, is like very good, and if the reward on block, it's not so bad. But it allows you to close the gap, and you're able to basically, if you want to stay in, you have a tool to kind of like stay in. Another move that we want to look at too, that's another strong aspect of Kai, is a Stun Dipper. Stun Dipper is actually very, very hard to use, and the reason why it's hard to use is because in certain ranges it doesn't combo. So if you get too close, it doesn't combo, right? If you're too far, you don't get the second floor, so you don't really get like the actual combo. So you have to really want to use specific ways and ranges where you want to use your normals, so you can connect with the Stun Dipper. If you don't have this down, it's going to be really, really hard for you to work with Kai. One of the easiest ways I can always recommend people is like, if you're not sure what to do if close, if you get a sweep, you could also use Stun Dipper there, right? Stun Dipper always connect from a juggle state, so that also makes it very easy to combo. All right, now we could talk about moves like the Air Clark. Basically, this is another move that is really good for Kai, and it also adds shock state. So the shock state is also very important too, because it allows you to do even more higher damage opportunities and set up for more high potential damage, right? Which we're gonna go to the next move pretty soon. But yes, this move knocks you full screen, or a good far away, 3/4 of the screen. And this is actually really good for Kai, because you get that corner carry, and Kai in the corner is very dangerous. So, you really want to kind of play that cat and mouse when it comes to like getting those right hits, and then knock them away, and then close the gap, right? So, this is actually a very strong move set along with Kai. I think it's actually one of Kai's strongest move, but it comes with like a big price, which is it being very minus on on block. So if you don't space yourself properly, you will get punished. All right, now let's go for the big play, right? Dragon Punch. So he has 2 Dragon Punches, right? He has a slash version, which it's not the fastest, but it's his fastest. And he has the Vapor Dust, which is more damage, but it's slower. So one thing that you want to keep in mind with this move is this move actually gives you juggle opportunities in shock state. So if you get like a stun edge or delay Clark, if you do Vapor Touch, you actually get them a higher juggle to be able to do a combo like this. You would not normally be able to do this, probably unless counter hit and they're like in the air, regular on the regular, right? But because you have shock state, this is actually one of the coolest things that you can do, because now you have juggle, and you can do combos like that because of the shock state.
Wait 1 second, let me just ask you a question. So even if I block that projectile, I'm still in shock state?
Yes. So this move, if this move or this move interact with the opponent at any time, regardless of how they block, you will be put in shock state. Now, also charge stun edge, right? But we're gonna talk about that too. But yeah, basically, this move right here and this move right here put shock state. And a couple more moves do too before we get to the next thing. Okay. But yeah, so basically you get like a juggle, you get big damaging combos right here, and you get like wall breaks like that, and that's great damage right there, right? And that's all because he was able to establish the shock state on his opponent.
Okay, cool. Can we talk about like shock state just like a little bit? Like how long does it last for? I know you said some of the moves, but this is something that I didn't even know when I was playing the game. I didn't even know that he had a shock state and he gets more combos. So this is even more interesting for me as well.
So shock state doesn't really, unfortunately, have a timer that indicates how long it lasts. But I think regular stun edge, it lasts for like 3 seconds, and then I think The air Clark lasts for 5 seconds. And basically, or I think they just last the same actually. Yeah, I think they just last the same.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically the idea that you kind of want to have is you want to kind of like loop shock state. It also does more chip a little bit too. And you can see the little explosion it get, and also like it actually resets. So that's also really important to know. But yeah, that's basically it. It's like shock state, I think for the normals, for the specials, it lasts for 3 seconds, and I think for super, it lasts longer. I think it lasts longer. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's 5 seconds. So this is 5 seconds, and I think specials are 3 seconds. But yeah. Also, we're gonna talk about charge stun edge. This move right here is a very good tool to keep pressure. And the best part about the pressure is when you get it off throw, it's very easy to set up. So like right here, basically I look at it as like a free shock state and free chip. If they decide not to faultless defense, so it's a very good like pressure tool, and it's also a very good tool to like throw out if you have meter. So if you have meter, you want to just like throw it out, close the gap, you get like free pressure right here. So it's a free pressure tool. It takes a long time to come out, so you can get punished. So you have to be careful and be aware of where you're at on the screen to throw this out. But sometimes you can use this move as a surprise, right? You just throw this out as a surprise, and it's very hard for the opponent to kind of predict what you're going to do because they're so afraid of like the block stun that you put them on them, because it does have a lot of block stun. So it is scary.
Yeah.
So that's what I could say about the charge stun edge. Now let's talk about the supers, right? So we got Sacred Edge. This is a very good situational tool. It's a very situational tool. I personally haven't really found a lot of use of it outside of putting your opponent in shock state for longer than normal. But the way I approach this character personally, and this means that you could approach it differently for other people, depending on if you like certain things. To anybody who's listening to this, like you don't have to follow my philosophy, but if you want to know, the reason why I like using like RTL and stuff like that is because I look at this as like I want the damage opportunity over like the setup, because sometimes the setup doesn't work, but one thing that always works is the damage. So that's just my logic on like a lot of things, especially given a character like this versus what he has to fight against, right? So Sacred Edge, right? So you get wall break, you get like cool juggles and stuff like that. So like I think you can get like a cool juggle like this. Oh, it doesn't work. Oh yeah, so you get like stuff like that. It hard knocks down, so he gets it set up. So that's also really good. I think in the corner right here, he could probably get something really cool. If you really want to, you get a wall break. And the cool part about it is you get a wall break and they're in shock state. So I guess those are like the really, really good things that you can kind of use. And also, too, another thing that's really good, too, you probably get something like that. And that's also really good. So if you knock them away, you get a hard knockdown, depending on where they go, or how high they juggle. So you get something like that. That's also really good. Probably get a combo like that, too. So you probably do this. There you go. So you get combos like that. And yeah, you get cool setups if you are at the right spacing and things like that. So it does have some utilities and stuff like that. It is very hard and very situational, and it takes a lot of precise timing that I feel like sometimes it's very hard to do. But it do have its usage, and as you can see, it does a absurd amount of damage. So that's also really cool. But you have things like that, and it also gives you shock state. So that's also very important to know. And then you have moves like Right the Lightning. I want to say this is actually one of his strongest tools, strongest super in the game. One of the strongest supers in the game. Not only that, it corner carries like anywhere on the screen, but it also is 7 frames or 8 frames, which is pretty fast for a super. That means that if you do anything like that, he can actually get a guaranteed punish. So that's also really, really good. Really important to have for his arsenal. So now we talk about Dragon Install, but this move you have to peel me down to like 30%. Yeah, so this is like a Awakening Super that they gave to Kai in this game, which is called Dragon Install. And basically, when you see that electricity around you, that basically means you're able to activate Dragon Install, right? And basically, it gives him multi-hitting moves. Multi-hitting moves. You're able to get like mid-screen loops and stuff like that, which is really good. And high damage, you know. So like he has a lot of high damage opportunities now in this state. And when you see that, like I said, when you see that red electricity is around you, that means you're able to activate. But basically, it like buffs all his damage, his specials from his specials. So like he has multi-hitting like that. You see that? He has multi-hitting. This multi-hitting hard knocks down. Stun Edge is multi-hitting too. This hits 2 times. This hits block this. I think this hits like 5 times. Yeah, it hits 5 times now. So yeah, it's just a lot of multi-hitting moves. This also hits a bunch of times too. So like the more if you stand block it, it hits multiple. Yep, like that. So it basically also he doesn't get shock state in this too. So and all his moves just like doesn't do shock state at all. So if you block this, it doesn't do shock state at all. You could do it, show you again real quick. Do this. Okay. So you do something like this doesn't do shock state anymore, but it's multi-hitting. This doesn't do shock state anymore, but it's multi-hitting. I think this is the only move that actually does shock state, which is his super. Oh, it doesn't do that either. Oh yeah, so yeah, it just took away shock state, but I think you get like a lot of like juggle options from this now. Thinking about it, you probably get more time to juggle. And yeah, basically he became like a combo monster, right? So he became the combo monster, you know, be able to do a lot of unique damage and opportunities and stuff like that. And basically that's really it about the character overall. It's basically, you know, great specials to keep the shock state, great supers, great pokes, great normals, and pretty overall situational high damage.
All right, excellent, man. Thank you very much for explaining the key moves to us. Now we're on to the favorite part, which is the Roman cancels. So show us your top 5 Roman cancels with Kai.
So I think the top 5 Roman cancel, in my opinion, you're gonna see a lot. It's Stun Dipper, you know, whether it's blue or purple. That's kind of like his basic toolkit to kind of put you in the corner. So you're gonna be seeing that a lot too. This is like a free wall break in a lot of situations right here. So if you see something like this, it's basically like a wall break right there. See, so from mid screen, so you're gonna see that a lot. One thing you're gonna see a lot from here too is like fireball. You're gonna see something like this, and this is like a very, very good way to get damage. So you get something like, you know, get the juggle off. Also a lot of damage right there too. You're gonna see a lot of you're gonna see another thing that's really good too. Is like the blue RC. So you're gonna see like things like this. You know. Or see like yeah. Stuff like that. Get like a cool juggle like that. See. Do something like this. So you're gonna see a lot of blue RCs like that. So that's number 3. I think another thing that's really good too is like, you know, mid screen. Another thing you're also gonna see is for number 4 for Roman cancels. It's basically you're gonna see a lot of like this too, like a lot of like purple. So you're gonna see like, oh, I got a hit. You know, see if I can get a confirm. If they block, I got frame advantage now. You know, basically you're gonna see a lot of like PRC. And another thing too, if you don't wall break, this is like number 5 that I think you're gonna see. Is like if this move doesn't wall break, you're gonna see a lot of people like RC this fast RC to try to keep the pressure going, and it does a really good damage. And the best part about it, you keep the wall as well. So I think you're gonna see that as well. Those are gonna be like the top 5. So there's gonna be a lot of like neutral stuff, and also just like a lot of like RC stuff. So you're gonna see a lot like that. That's what you're gonna see a lot.
Okay, wicked. Thank you very much, man, for that. Now we're gonna talk about the approach of the character. So with the approach, obviously we spoke about being balanced, but what are the main things you need to do with Kai?
You basically just gonna use like all his pokes, fire slash, 2 slash, 5 heavy slash, 6H. You're gonna want to try to get those hits and link to this to get started to keep the pressure. So basically those are gonna be like your main tools. Sometimes you're gonna throw out fireball to keep him in check as well. In terms of in the air, he has very great air buttons like jump kick, jump slash, jump heavy slash. Those are basically like his very strong tool. I personally think overall, jump slash is his strongest poke, and jump kick is the second strongest. But these two pokes honestly are so strong that if you think jump kick is better, I will actually agree with you too. That's how strong it is. So like both of these buttons are also very good, but I personally think slash is stronger. But if somebody tell me that kick is stronger, I'd be like, yeah, I also agree. That's how strong both of them are. So he has very good air normals, very good strong. He has a pretty decent air jab. I personally think if you use air jab, you might as well use air kick personally, just for the opportunities to like dash cancel it on hit. And jump dust, not very good overall, but it has like its niche uses. But I think because it's so niche that it's very hard to use. Like you will be very confused most of the time uses this move rather than these 2 moves. Because I feel like these 2 moves give more opportunities than this move. This move is very situational, very extremely hard situational, because it doesn't really have like a strong purpose outside of like keeping your keeping in the air, and you can jump cancel out of that. But other than that, it's not really that strong because jumping already in this game is bad. So to be able to do this really doesn't mean as much. So yeah, that's how I use for that. But the approach you want to use with him is like mid-range control, stuff like that. Frame traps is like very basic. So you have like a punch. You want to punch, you get 6p in case somebody's mashing, you get a counter hit. Like that. You could combo off that. Another frame trap too is like kick into that. Also into this too. 2 kick, 5 kick into 6 heavy slash. Close slash into 6 heavy slash, close slash into 2 heavy, close slash into the sweep, or close slash into 6 punch, or you have like 5k into 6 punch, you have 2k to 6 punch, you have close slash 5 heavy, or you have far slash 5 heavy. Those also frame trap too. You have 2 slash 2 heavy. 5 heavy, that also frame traps too. You have 2 slash 2 heavy, that also frame traps, but it's very hard to get the second hit to connect sometimes. But for 1 hit, it's also pretty good. So that's really good. Also, you have 6K. Now 6K is not necessarily like a frame trap, but it's a move that if you feel like people don't like, it's people not going to press buttons here, you just throw it out. But it's extremely risky. It's extremely risky to do all the time because in this game everything is like unsafe or like minus, right? Everything's unsafe and minus. So you know, because of that, if because everything is minus and unsafe, majority of the person is going to press buttons more because they know that nothing's plus in this game, right? Except for like a small amount of characters. So if I do this and you press jab, it's not going to work. But let's say, for example, like the opponent is somewhat scared, then this is a good move to throw out, right? This is like the opponent is scared because he don't know what I'm doing, and I'm basically throwing out this extra frame advantage attack. So this is like a good move that calls out people who are afraid, basically. I wouldn't call it a frame trap, but if you're afraid, it works. So you could jab between us. Yeah. You gotta press it probably faster. There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. But yeah, so yeah, those are like the kind of like approaches that you want to kind of use. Basically, it's like use a lot of frame traps. Since everything's minus, you want to kind of like change your timing. And basically use that to kind of like open your opponent up. And you know, one of the things too, I say in this game in particular, I feel like if a lot of people have a hard time just like opening people up, always opt to throw. It's the easiest and yet the strongest tool and one of the strongest tools in the game. So if you feel like, oh, like this person's just blocking all my stuff and I'm having a hard time opening them up, throw. It's always I call it the equalizer, right? It's so strong in this game and yet so fast. So if you just feel like not sure how to like open your opponent up, just throw. Throw will just basically solve a lot of issues overall. And yeah, it's also very strong for Kai too. So throw is just very, very good.
Wicked. Thank you very much, man. I really appreciate all the info that you've given on Kai. I think this character looks like a very, very good character. Probably not as top tier as like some of the few, you know, like Soul and stuff like that. But I do think this character has a lot of interesting aspects. So
yeah. Also, another thing to add to the approach, one of the useful strategies that I always say coming into the character is hit confirming, right? That is his strongest. That is his strongest strength, in my opinion, is like hit confirming. So if you're like really, if you really want to learn and improve hit confirming, this is a perfect character to start off with. You want to hit confirm all into super. You know, you want to do that. You want to hit confirm like straight hits like this and neutral. Also really good. You want to combo off sweep. Also really good. He can combo off anything, basically. Anything goes into RTL. It's really good. And best part about it, you get the wall break. So if you want to play his character, you got to have these down, right? Really important because, honestly, that's all he really has. In a lot of situations.
Crazy. Nice.
Up. That's all you really gotta do. So.
Alright, well, thank you very, very much, man. I appreciate you giving us the Kai expert tips. Now, if people wanted to find you, I know that you do a lot of content on YouTube, and I know you stream quite a lot as well. You play a lot of Guilty Gear. So if people wanted to find your content, where can they find you?
You can find me on YouTube at Kizzie Kay. You can follow me on Twitter at Kizzie_K. You can also follow me on Twitch, which is Kizzie Kay 310. And shout outs to Panda and you know, my sponsor and my team. Shout outs to Arcade Shock as well. Thank you guys for always supporting me. And yeah, that's basically where you can find me out. You can find me at. So I hope you guys really, really take the time and give this character a try and give Guilty Gear a try.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Really appreciate you coming on. Hope you lot go check him out. Remember to subscribe for more Guilty Gear Strive Teach Me episodes. Comment as well. I'd appreciate it, and give a thumbs up. Other than that, take it easy, and we're going to be on to the next episode. See you there.
See ya.